Hi all, Wise Wolf here, and welcome to the next area of New Harbour Wildlife Reserve, the Southern Hemisphere Conservation Trail. The Conservation Trail aims to do its namesake, conserve animals of endangered, critically endangered, vulnerable or near-threatened species in the Southern Hemisphere that aren't in Africa. This includes South America and Australia. In today's episode, we're building, as you can see, the train platforms that link the Sub-Saharan Walk to the Conservation Trail. And we'll also be building for the first animal, the very curious, very weird-looking Australian platypus. As the camera turns around every so often, you might see these strange boxes in the background. These mark out the habitats that will eventually become an animal's home. The Arctic wood habitat boxes are animals that are currently in the game as of me recording this. The boxes that are made of brick are for animals that'll be in the Australia pack and South America pack, that, as of me recording this, are not yet in the game, but will be as the time this video releases. I'm also leaving room for the Quokka and Tasmanian Devil from the Oceania pack that, theoretically, we should be getting in March. If we do not get this in March, then I will have to cut them from the Conservation Walk so that we can move on to the Asian area known as the Oriental Plaza. Alternatively, if the Southern Hemisphere Conservation Trail completely and utterly destroys the complexity meter of New Harbour Wildlife Reserve, well, we will just have to scrap the Oriental Plaza altogether, and I will probably end up moving on to a new zoo, one that is probably not too complicated, and probably one that focuses heavily on Australian animals, since by the time that would to be happen, all Australian animals that are in the game should be theoretically released on console. If not, then that is just highly disappointing. All videos that are around the Conservation Trail will probably end up being shorter than the Sub-Saharan Walk. This is because looking at the space requirements for a lot of these animals, they don't require a lot of space, and as you could probably see from the boxes, all the boxes are quite small, so the habitats probably won't take me all that long. As it is, this video is 11 minutes long. That is because the platypus only took me about 40 minutes to build, as well as the train station here to beef up the video so that the video wasn't just a 5-minute long little short video. This probably will wrap up the part of the train station, so allow me to begin talking about the platypus. The platypus is a unique mammal native to Australia. It's known for its bizarre appearance and unusual characteristics. It's one of the only 5 existing species of monotremes, a group of egg-laying mammals. Here are some key features. The platypus has the body of a small mammal with the distinctive bill of a duck, webbed feet, and a beaver-like tail. Males also have venomous spurs on their hind legs. Unlike most mammals, the platypus lay eggs. After the female lays its eggs, she incubates them by curling around them until they hatch. As mentioned, male platypuses produce venom in their spurs, which can cause extreme pain in humans, though it is rarely fatal. Platypuses are semi-aquatic, found in rivers and freshwater lakes. They are excellent swimmers and dive for food, primarily feeding on insects, small fish, and crustaceans. The bill of a platypus is highly sensitive, and is equipped with electroreceptors that allow it to detect the electrical signals generated by the muscles and nerves of its prey underwater, aiding it in its hunting in low visibility conditions. Unlike a lot of social animals, a paddle of platypuses is quite a rare occurrence, as they generally live alone. They tend to live and hunt alone, except during the breeding seasons. While not currently listed as endangered, platypuses face threats from habitat destruction, pollution, and climate change, especially concerning waterway alterations. Conservation efforts are underway to protect their habitats and ensure their survival. In February 2024, which honestly that feels weird saying because I'm used to saying this year, Taronga Western Plains Zoo, Dubbo, opened its Platypus Rescue HQ, and is the largest purpose-built platypus conservation centre in the world. This centre combines a research centre, rescue and rehabilitation facilities, and a pre-release area to prepare recovered platypuses into the wild. Scientifically known as Ornithorhynchus anatinus, the platypuses were once thought to be a hoax. Everything about them is just unusual and you wouldn't think it to be real. For instance, under a UV light or a black light, platypuses light up with an otherworldly blue-green shine. This trait of the platypus is probably where the creators of Perry the Platypus got his colour from, because it is an oddly similar colour to that. And also, if you were to describe a platypus to a 2-year-old, they'd think you were talking about a fairy tale myth. What in God's green earth has a beaver tail, a duck bill, and is just... they're just weird, okay? You're about to see them now, actually. As you can see, they're just the strangest looking thing. I also think that platypuses in Planet Zoo, their model is just that slightly bit larger than what a platypus would be in real life. It's not so much of a problem in my opinion, it just becomes a problem when their hitboxes are just annoyingly ridiculous because of the way hitboxes work in Planet Zoo. Adorably, a baby platypus is called a puggle, and I'm sorry, but every time I hear that I think of a muggle from Harry Potter. When a puggle first hatches, it is tiny, hairless, and pink, similar in appearance to a peeled grape. It is totally helpless. And it's also blind. Unlike most marsupials, a mother platypus doesn't have a pouch where the baby can continue developing. Instead, much like an altrical baby bird, the kind of chick that hatches without feathers and must rely entirely on its parents, a puggle completes its development outside of the egg. This next fact is kind of weird, and I will leave a timestamp on the screen for you to skip forward to if you do not want to hear and be weirded out. You have been warned. Unlike all other mammals, platypuses lack nipples. Instead, the milk seeps directly out of the platypus's mammary glands and collects in grooves on her skins. Her babies lap it up or suck it out of her fur. If you stuck with me through that disturbing fact about the platypus, or even if you just skipped through, first and foremost, I'd like to thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. And as we approach the end of the video, I just want to give a huge thanks to everyone who has supported me throughout my time. It's been a big help to know that people actually appreciate and enjoy my builds. And I'm looking forward to bringing you the conclusion of New Harbour. As of right now, I am concerned that the complexity meter might hinder that, but I will aim to do my best to bring a very satisfying conclusion to this series, whether it be a conclusion at the end of the Southern-Hemisphere Conservation Trail, or the completion of the Oriental Plaza as planned. Either way, next week we are building for my favourite South American animal that fits New Harbour's description. Of course, it's not the capybara because they do not fit New Harbour's purpose because they are thankfully not endangered. I am of course referring to the maned wolf, a gorgeous wolf-fox hybrid looking thing that isn't a classification of a wolf. I'll be sharing more information next week, of course, but until then, I leave you with the last cinematic, and peace out.